And we're live. Welcome back to the Wildlands, everyone. So, last time we had quite an eventful session. You guys did a lot of things. You had several conversations, including with the enchantress called Aerie. She seemed to have explanations, or at least satisfactory reasoning for the way things are at her tower. But you still found it somewhat difficult to leave. And some of you were aided in that endeavor by one Liam, a human warlock, who demanded that Aerie release you from the tower's hold. She grudgingly agreed, and donated the use of one of her flying airships, one of her flying ships, to speed you guys to Westhead in time, because a great deal of time has passed. Several weeks have passed, almost without you really noticing, while you've been living comfortably in the enchanted obelisk. However, she donated this ship to you, the use of this ship to you, but it came with a warning, an admonition, to return it within 1 week's time. And you definitely felt that she meant it. She left you with a goodbye message as you flew off from the obelisk, and with a cloud cover, as apparently there is an undead army camped out underneath the obelisk, which floats. However, you never saw it, as you flew away with the protective cover of clouds. And once you had gotten far enough away from the obelisk that you couldn't see it, Liam, the warlock you met there, began to age very rapidly. The years spent at the tower suddenly catching up with him. And he passed away while standing on the prow of the Swallow's Feather, the fastest of Aerie's flying ships. And as you speed toward Westhead, with only yourselves as crew.
And Orinar, right?
No. Orinar stayed back.
Well, that sucks.
Orinar, the pirates, all the other rescued slaves, and Aerie's other guests are still being taken care of at the floating obelisk. Hello, Grimslag on Twitch. So, would you say, as you fly toward Westhead, that you are heading in a southwest or south direction?
I think we'd probably want to go southwest twice and then south.
I mean, if my math is right, it's the same number of squares either way, but there might be some stuff we want to avoid. I don't necessarily want to run into whatever that pyramid is until we know what it is.
Yes, I prefer to stay away from the creepy, ominous pyramid.
So yeah, probably southwest twice and then south.
Okay. You do have such a fast ship. You can go a little more than two hexes in a single day of travel.
Is that fast enough, though?
If the wind is with you, which Aerie has made sure that it is.
I mean, it's the best we can do. Doesn't really matter, does it?
Right.
What day does it happen on again?
Tomorrow.
Tomorrow evening, right?
I would assume so, but I'm not sure that I really know.
We should be able to get you there in time then.
Yeah, it'll be, intense, but we can do it.
Isn't getting ready for any special occasion.
Yeah, sure. I don't really know what to expect when we get there, so I guess I don't actually even know where it's happening. But if it's a big production, it should be fairly easy to find.
Yeah, I would assume that once we get into town, it'll be pretty easy to find it.
What speed do you guys want to travel at? Actually, specifically on the Swallow's feather, if you choose a fast pace, you can actually go 3 hexes.
I guess I know what speed you're going then.
I'd prefer that. Unless we have a strong reason not to.
Yeah, I mean, we need to get there as quickly as we can.
You take
I mean,
off.
I hope that we all understand that I want to get there for a lot of reasons other than physically seeing my mother perform. That's actually probably
yeah.
like at the bottom of the list of reasons, although it is on the list of reasons. That's not my main priority. Like, if we missed that for one of the other reasons, I wouldn't be sad.
Oh, we'll do everything we can. We know this is significant and important for you.
Right. I just, getting there sooner and being able to talk to her would be good. Thank you.
Yeah, that's what we'd like to shoot for. Yeah.
Okay. So your plan is to go like this.
Yes.
Okay. All right. Well, at least for the beginning of the journey, a strong wind propels the ship forward. What are you going to do, and anyone can speak up, in order to ensure a swift and safe journey as you take this flying boat on a fast speed?
Alright, Akiri has something. She'd like to make sure, using like the position of the sun and I guess, land masses possibly, maybe even wind direction to make sure they're going on the correct course.
Okay. That will be a survival check, I think.
That's what I was going for.
All right, go for it.
18.
18 is a success.
Heck yeah.
So, Akiri, you triangulate your position. You take a few test flights, although you actually can't keep up with the ship as it's flying so fast. Or at least it would be difficult.
Yeah, I
You-
imagine she'd stay on board.
But you use your knowledge of aerial maneuvering and navigation. To good effect. I assume Bref is at the tiller. So you're able to direct him and ensure that you guys stay on course. During the first part of the day, while the sun is still rising up from the west, I mean the east, sorry. Somewhat behind you, you pass over clouds, forest, tall trees that swoop up from the ground on rolling low hills. And this colossal green canopy eventually gives way to a broad, grassy area with small copses of trees, some farmland, houses down below. You're passing over a town. There is a wall around the the main area of the town on the coast, which you can actually see some distance off the starboard side of the ship, and which is the right side, I think. And you definitely see off in the distance some magical smoke signals go up as you plunge out of some clouds, scuds of clouds, and into view. How high up are you guys traveling?
I'd assume pretty high.
Yeah, well, I'm not super duper, not like before where we were worried about getting caught when we were on our way to what we now know was the obelisk of death and doom.
What?
Obelisk
I
of
mean,
death.
obelisk of wonderful hospitality.
Obelisk of eternal endless life and doom.
Yes.
Yes.
But I mean, high enough that it, like, if someone was like, "Holy crap!" shoot a catapult at them, that we would probably be out of range, but not so high up that we're, pushing it. So mid height.
Okay, well, the ship you were in before could only go 500 feet up. This ship can go up to 1,000 feet up.
I mean, we might as well be kind of high. I don't see. I mean, is there a problem with it being what's the drawback between one or the other? And I'm not necessarily asking the DM, but maybe Brev knows.
This is all relatively new to me, but the higher we go, the harder it's going to get to breathe, the colder it's going to get. We have to be careful that we don't push ourselves too high, too fast.
I like breathing, so yeah. Let's don't go too high.
Okay. So when you say
Around
mid-range,
500.
you're going
For
to
this
fly it around
flight to be about
500 feet up?
500,
Okay.
yeah.
Well, that's quite high. Especially in this terrain, as you break past the tall trees of the forest and pass near this town. So they are setting up these kind of purple and green and black smoke signals. You're not entirely sure, or there's no immediately obvious meaning to them. But it probably means something to somebody. And off in the distance, you're too far away to really tell what's going on, but there's definitely a flurry of activity atop the walls as your flying ship passes by. Quite swiftly, I might add.
What color was the smoke again?
Green, purple, and black.
Could I make a Arcana check or something?
Sure.
Pretty.
Well, all right. I don't really know what that means. I have a lot on my mind.
Well, you do have proficiency at Arcana, right?
Yeah.
So you know that spells exist that would allow you to change the colors of smoke. But with a 1, you actually can't remember the names of them at the moment.
But they exist, so, probably something like that.
Yeah, Bella, but what do they mean?
It's like it's festive. It's a festive thing, probably.
Kiri's
we're
giving
still
you
over a party. Awesome.
Kiri's giving you a very strong side eye. Like, okay. I guess that makes sense.
Doesn't not make sense.
That's fair.
Okay. Make a perception roll. Let's see. I'm going to say... was anyone going to call out that they were that they were going to do perception to help you travel safely? No? Okay.
I was going to say I could do that. That's fine.
All right, well, if you're ready to commit to that, then
Sure.
I will say that you are being a lookout, and Akiri can roll because she is, doing this navigation business. And I guess Bella can roll, because she was examining the smoke.
Oof, it's pretty sad.
Okay.
Well, I got a 14 and I won, so.
All right. Okay. You guys are watching these smoke columns, and they get up to like a certain height, and then it's almost as if the magic that makes them rise so straight up and down suddenly stops and gets cut, and the smoke gets caught by the wind and blows kind of in the same direction that you guys are flying, which is southwest.
Hey everybody. I'm gonna point out, I see, it looks like something is flying kind of toward us? Or vaguely toward us? And I'll point north.
Weird.
It's really more northwest, I should have said.
Okay. Well,
right now you're the only one who spotted it.
I wonder if it's Airy being clingy.
I really hope not. I get the strong feeling that she does not leave.
She has other ships she could send out though, but I don't know. With the way she sounded when we left, she didn't sound like she wanted to follow us. I think it's something else.
Maybe it's Chowder. Does it look angry and flappy?
And red?
Well, it sure looks big enough.
Does it
But
have
it's
all
kind
that
of far.
magical crap?
It's definitely flopping wings, like a seagull far away.
I wonder if it's like a really big bird. That'd be cool.
Bref,
Yes.
make a history check for me.
Oh, this will go very well.
Actually,
This will be great.
what's your special ability for your sailor background?
Oh, it's,
Passage
like
on a
you
ship.
can get.
Right.
Yes, you can get passage.
Make a wisdom check for me.
That will have a better modifier. Oh,
Better
much
rolls too.
better. That's an 18.
Okay.
I feel like as a sailor, he should definitely know a bunch of like sailor lore.
Well, I'll tell you this much. Bref, as your eye is dragged toward the surf, crashing upon the coast, right where this town is. You recognize it, and these waters. This is the Thunder Gulf. And that town, you've been there before. You just are seeing it from a very different angle. It's Waturum.
And what do I remember about it?
It appears in your character history.
Oh, yeah.
It is a town under the protection of Westhead. Fearful of all the powerful monsters that live round about in the Armadan Forest, which you are flying over. They do a lot of fishing, logging, and it's said that you don't want to mess with Waturim. Your history check didn't give you much. Your wisdom check tells you they have a guardian. Somehow through Westhead.
We want to steer clear of that thing. I don't know exactly what it is, but it's here to protect the town. I think if we stay away from the town, it probably won't bother us, but let's try and keep the wind at our backs and that thing even further behind our backs.
Well, better safe than sorry.
Okay. Aquitas, you said you were committing to doing perception as a lookout for danger.
Yeah, and it looks like I failed it.
Yeah. You are staring and staring, and you see the smoke columns, but you don't see whatever is flying off to the northwest. Eyes are a little
let me ask a question.
bleary this morning.
That's not an ability check or a saving throw. That's a skill check, right? Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Just making sure.
Oh, no, correction. It is an ability check. Skill checks are ability checks.
Oh, okay. Then I've got this new thing. That when I make an ability check or saving throw, I can use this feature to add a D10 to my roll. So let me do that.
All right. Well, we'll let you use it this time, but in future,
Well, does that help?
in future, you have to say it before I say the results.
Okay, I was letting you finish what you were talking about.
Well, you're going to have to interrupt me.
Okay, all right.
Just interrupt me before I tell you what happens. And that's fine. Okay. You guys fly on, leaving that town and its guardian that they seem to have called behind in the clouds. You do spot, off in the distance, if you're looking aft of the ship, you do spot a flash of green from over the town. And your brands burn and itch.
That doesn't seem good.
The mark upon you. All right. What else are you guys doing to ensure a safe journey as you pass by the town and continue flying on?
I mean, I suppose my sailing technique would have to come into play here to make sure we keep the wind at an optimum position behind us at all times so we maintain the highest velocity that we can.
All right. I think that makes quite a bit of sense. And we did say that your sailor on the sea background would apply to flying an airship. This enchanted ship in the air. Do you recall what check we were using for that before?
I don't. I would guess survival, just because it's kind of using my skills to travel. Because we don't really have a vehicle. I mean, there's
Yeah.
water vehicle. I don't see what happens when I click on this. See if anything gets rolled in.
What?
No, I have a
Other
in my on my
proficiencies?
character sheet. There is a water vehicles, but I don't have a attribute tied to it. So
Well, give it a shot. Just choose. I guess in this case, choose wisdom.
Okay, so let's see what happens. Wisdom.
There you go.
And I
A
think I would
very-
add. Well, yeah, it's a good roll anyway. So, okay, it did add my proficiency. Yes,
Did
19, perfect.
because it's listed under your proficiencies. All right, that's another check mark. So, with a fancy bit of steering, you fly wide of the town, yet still keep up the pace. Traveling swiftly on, you are soon over the Armadan Forest once more. And way off in the distance, you can see signs of other civilization. But in the area that you are in, it's once again the trackless forest. With a few breaks in the tree lines here and there, where you can see where there are some semblance of roads, mostly following the coast. All right. By the way, all three of you get 1 temp HP, and all of you have rested. You are so rested. And it has been several days, many days, so your items are fully charged as well.
Neat.
And you've leveled up, haven't you? Okay. Who else is going to jump in to try and get you through the last part of this journey safely?
Can I make sure that the rigging is tight, the sails are not holy, and everything is good around the ship?
What skill are you trying to apply here?
Strength, I guess, especially making sure things are tight.
That's interesting. Elaborate a little bit more on how strength would apply to this, because that sounds more like a, knowledge kind of thing.
Just like pulling the ropes for the rigging, that would take strength. I don't know a whole lot about boats, so.
Sure, but I mean, a tight knot is more about knowing how to tie a knot, right? Than it is about pulling on it really hard.
Yeah, but would I need to tie it or just make sure it's tight? Which wouldn't be tying the knot, it would just be pulling it tight. pulling the knot that's already there
Ye-
tight?
I'm not really finding that convincing.
Okay.
as keeping you guys super safe. I think it would be more about that would be more of a mental thing than a strength based thing. If you get me.
Okay.
Maybe I could make like an investigation check and see if I can find some equipment on the ship that would help us keep a lookout, like spy glasses or spy glasses.
You want to inventory the equipment?
Yeah.
To help you guys travel safely?
Yeah. To see if I can find anything that would be useful.
Well, what kind of skill are you trying to apply here?
Investigation, maybe?
Okay. All right. I buy that. So just searching the ship over. By the way, oh, very nice roll. Darn, you guys are rolling too well tonight. No aerial combat encounters for you.
It's fine.
I don't think that's a bad thing.
In my other campaign, or in a different campaign, I killed someone in the first... I killed a level 1 character with an exploding airship.
Please don't tell me you want to recreate that.
I'm just saying. Well done. So, yes, Bella, you find that the ship is well stocked. There are plenty of provisions. Although they're plain and simple, probably created by magic, you would guess. Or at least preserved by magic. They are
Sure.
nonetheless tasty. Just a lot of like dried kind of goods, mostly kind of like oatmeal and other things that are designed to last a long time.
Sure.
And you find there isn't a spyglass exactly, but there are things on the ship that that can help you navigate and whatnot. No maps or things that aren't really attached or part of this ship, though.
That would be too easy.
That would be too easy. Okay. The sun gets low, drops below the horizon, and the swallow's feather flies on. The lost one rises. The moon begins its unpredictable zigzag randomly across the sky. And you fly on. And in the dark of dusk, you begin to see the orange lights. For Bref, this is just like the dream that you had. Up along the cliffs on the coast, there rises the city of Westhead, with all of its many lanterns twinkling. Borne upon the cold wind, you fly closer to the city. This Mariko the 23rd. You are able to see off in the distance a kind of dark mound rising up from the forest off to your left. And there are some lights visible near the top of it as well. But these are bluish flames in the distance. Off to your right, out at sea, you can see some ships with their own lights sailing to and fro, and also some odd angular shapes in the water that are quite large as well. Probably rocks or something similar. Hard to really see clearly in the evening light. But enough of that, I suppose, and on to the city itself. You get a pretty good view of it as you come flying closer. It is quite the impressive construction. You've never seen so many lights in one place before. It reminds you of the Bandit Mood a little bit, out in the desert, but much, much bigger. There's a tremendous stone wall pierced by towers that surrounds the place. The wall is, well, it's a little hard to tell from this high up, but it's probably well over 50 feet high. And thick, too. And many torches and lanterns cluster along the top of it and at the towers. Looming over the city is the Royal Keep. Westhead Keep. Now, the domain, you've heard, of Duke Rothdal. Sitting several hundred feet up and over the rest of the city. Everything about this place is more sprawling and vast than any settlement you guys have been to in our story so far. And if you can see that, you guys can see the map, right? Great.
Yeah.
I will say that while you're taking all of this in and flying closer, I have two questions. One, what have you done with the remains of Liam?
I was actually going to ask about that, about what he had on him. I know you said that he had that dagger.
He did. He had the double-ended, kind of wavy dagger, and his black hooded cloak, and he had kind of a satchel that he carried around under the cloak. But he is kind of shrunk and wizened and shriveled down within his clothes. So, I mean, he fell into a heap. So what did you want to do with him?
I think he deserves some respect, for sure. I don't know. Any suggestions?
I mean, I guess most of the folks I would have known would have been buried at sea. There's Bella, I imagine. Bella, do you have any idea what some of the traditions for honoring the dead would be in this kind of situation? I mean, do we wait till we're on land? Do we give them a burial at air?
What is a burial at air?
It's like a burial at sea, but in the air.
We could do something
So
like that
we
over
would
the
just, like,
ocean,
throw him over the side of the boat.
basically. Right?
Yeah.
I'm gonna vote against that one. Maybe we should. Well, I'll try to make a history check or something and see if I know any burial traditions in the air. It's a 19.
For burial traditions in the air?
In the air, yes.
I mean, there's the Aarakocra air burials, but that doesn't really apply.
Yeah, other than the sky burial tradition of the Aarakocra, there really isn't. There really isn't one.
Could I, knowing that he, and I don't even know if this would be what he would want, but knowing that he followed the nightfall, could I do maybe a religion check to see if I could think of a way to bury him or
Sure.
what might be appropriate? Okay. Man, I gotta start rolling better. It's 5.
Well, at the compound, your remains, once your spirit had passed from them, were not considered to be yours any longer, and might be repurposed or interred in one of the deeper crypts
Right.
below the complex.
Can you say how encouraging it is that your larger family group took recycling so seriously?
I mean, they're really good people.
question.
I mean, if only Cordy was here to turn him into a mushroom zombie.
Right? Oh no, she'd be so excited. Let's be honest, she would be absolutely stoked to have a chance to turn him into a mushroom zombie.
Absolutely.
It probably already would have happened.
Yeah.
I mean, when you had, you didn't always have a burial at sea, Bref. When someone passed and you were, able to, you made a coffin out of some of the, maybe crates or something on board the ship, and, brought them to be buried on land. Burial at sea is really either something for, like, naval officers or maybe, if you're on a long voyage, then you have no choice.
Okay, I'm gonna make a suggestion, and maybe it's not the best suggestion in the world, and if somebody has a better one, please let me know. But once we land, maybe we could ask somebody if there's something like a potter's field or something where we could give him a proper burial.
Yeah, seems fine.
All right, then. That leads me to my second question. What do you want to do as you approach the city?
Get lower and slow down.
Okay. Aiming for what?
That's a good question.
Do we want to dock it just like a normal ship? Or...
That's my
what I was
best
just
guess.
thinking.
Yeah, I mean, I assume these ships float too, right?
Or we could have it just like just above the water.
Yeah, I mean, I imagine I've been piloting it most of this time. Would I have had any opportunity to check and see if it's actually a seaworthy ship as well as skyworthy?
You could make your best guess, but it wouldn't be a short process to check that. You could do it.
I mean, we weren't planning on really returning it anyway.
Yeah, but I'm thinking docking it at the docks would give us a better chance of actually finding folks to return it for us.
That's true.
Yeah,
There's
exactly.
There's nothing that we could see that looks like I don't even know what you would call an air dock.
Well, you have seen them at the
area.
yeah.
But there's nothing that
But we're not seeing anything like that as we approach on the city.
No.
Okay.
From up in the air, you can see that, there are a number of town squares, which is like what Stray would do.
Yeah.
But you don't know.
Maybe approach the docks. I don't know how we would communicate to somebody, but maybe we could sort of tie it off somehow to a pier or something.
We just pull a total power move and park it on top of whatever puck came here in. Just literally just down on top of it.
So you get lower and slow down as you come in toward West Head. And as you do so, you see 3 figures take off from the wall, mounted on griffins.
Oh, this might make it easier for us.
Creatures with wings of eagles, bodies of lions, etc.
Akiri is absolutely delighted by their appearance.
And these griffin riders fly up to meet you as you get closer. And somewhat cautiously, and you can see them in the last of the fading light. But it is still a little hard to make out the leader's face as she hails you. Who approaches the great city of Westhead?
I will hail them back, and I'll say, we're a bunch of travelers hoping to dock and find lodging for the night.
Travelers. The griffins kind of swoop around your ship, keeping pace with you. They're a lot more maneuverable. Even with these armored soldiers on their backs. And the leader shouts to you, "Can you dock at the quays? Or must you stay airborne?"
We can dock at the quays.
"You are not of the Sisterhood? Are you sent by Aerie, the Enchantress?"
We have rented a ship from her, but I wouldn't say that we were exactly sent by her.
No, we're running away from her.
Yeah, why don't you go downstairs?
Okay.
"Does your ship carry any weapons?"
We have some weapons that we carried with us in our travels, but only to be used in self-defense.
"Very well. Please dock at the quays. Down below," and you see a lance flickering in the light as she points. "And go through customs."
Thank you very much.
"The harbor
Right.
master will know what to do with them," she says to her companions. As they don't they don't leave. They just kind of fly somewhat above you and escort you down toward the docks.
Okay.
And we make our way down.
All right. You enter Westhead Harbor, which even at night is a bustling place. It's you really get to see how tall the walls are as you kind of come lowering down out of the sky, with Bref kind of pulling on the tiller to make that happen. There is a lot of pointing and gawking as you guys approach, and so many people. Even your stints not in the wilderness. You have not been around. Even your stints in settlements and the like in the Wildlands, you have not been around these kinds of crowds. and one certainly forms as you guys take the Swallow's Feather down to the end of the dock and are approached by several important-looking people carrying essentially a clipboard and papers, and decorated with several ribbons and a kind of large floppy cloth hat.
Amazing.
And he waits patiently for you guys to throw down the gangplank, and the ship does land on the water and seems to be seaworthy, fortunately, as it is undamaged. And you once again, Bref, for the first time in a long time, feel the roll of waves under your feet.
Oh yeah, that's the stuff.
Alright, well, I'm gonna go meet the guy, I guess. Gonna look as important as possible.
Yeah, I imagine we'll. I mean, I'm gonna follow her
Yeah, I'm gonna go with.
after making sure the ship is secured.
Yeah, I'm definitely coming with.
Okay. Well, this fellow is flanked by a couple of other people who, unlike him, are armed and armored. And they these two guards, essentially, of this the harbor master or the burgomaster, whatever he is, are they bear an insignia on their mailed chests, which when you peer, there are lanterns all along the dock here, bobbing up and down in the wind, and you can make out that they have this this bull insignia on their chest.
Bowl or bull?
Bull.
Cool.
The guy in the floppy cloth hat kind of looks at you guys and says, "Welcome to Westhead. Are you the captain?"
That's me. Pleasure to make your acquaintance, Mr.
He nods, kind of seeming satisfied that you didn't immediately do something weird, if you get what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Excuse me. Throat is rough tonight. He says, "I am Burgomaster Adginus, or Aginus, as some pronounce it. And I am here to collect a docking fee and ensure that your goods and all crew are registered and able to enter the city if you so desire, Captain."
Certainly, thank you.
Excellent. He scribbles something on the paper. It is my understanding that this is a flying ship. Is that correct?
It is.
We've had several of these in here before. Are you affiliated with any of the Red-Headed Sisterhood?
Not directly. We've rented the ship from one of them, but
Yes,
not.
the Northern Enchantress.
Yes.
Of course. He scribbles something on the paper. The name of your ship is?
The Sparrow?
The Sparrow.
No?
He looks over at the side.
No.
Very well.
Nope, it's this swallows something. I've got it in my notes. The swallows thing. The swallow's feather.
He gives you a look, like, you don't know the name of your own ship, or are you trying to pull something?
We've
Like
had
I
it for
said,
less than 24 hours.
It's a rental, like I said.
Yes, of course. I'm very well. The swallow's feather. The captain's name is
Bella
Bella
and Doral.
and Doral. Very well. He scribbles that down. First mate, any other notables aboard ship?
First mate is Breath.
I think I'm probably... Yes, I'm definitely first mate Breath.
Very well. Any other nobility?
Oh, no.
Of course.
I don't think so.
He
No.
takes a note. Welcome, Captain Indoral, to West Head. And he does doff his cap.
Thank you very much.
Of course. He writes it once more.
As to the docking fee, what would that entail?
Well, you must understand that unless you apply for a special flying license, it is not permitted for your ship to fly above the city or over the walls.
Oh no, not at all.
Very well. And we would certainly take it as a kindness if you would refrain from flying over the harbor or surrounding lands as well, unless absolutely necessary, as it does tend to alarm the Griffin Knights.
Certainly. Our apologies. This is our first visit to the city, so we'll make sure to follow the rules going forward.
I shall inform Lord Moonling, of course. That is the head. He is the head of the Griffin Knights Order.
Thank you very much.
Of course. Very well. Do you have any goods that you will be selling in West Head?
Nope, not planned.
Very well. If you change your mind about that, they will have to be registered.
Certainly.
A full manifest would be required.
All we have with us currently is our personal possessions, so...
Yes, on to the personal possessions. Of course, as an Endoral, you may be permitted one sword or other item of decorative nature about your person. However, any other weapons are strictly prohibited within the walls of West Head. Of course, you can You may use the anything above 6 inches in length is considered a weapon. Anything shorter, simply a knife, which you may be permitted to carry about your person.
Thank you. Would it, as I say, or perhaps I said to the Griffin Riders as we were coming in, we've been traveling in the Wildlands, and as such have a few items of personal protection about us. Would it be possible to peace bind these, or otherwise enable them to be carried with us and perhaps secured at our place of lodging within the city?
If necessary, they may be acceptable as part of self-defense or your personal guard or any kind of weapon license may be applied for. Yes, of course.
Thank you very much.
That would include additional fees.
Oh, certainly. I just, as I said, we're very anxious to follow the rules, and of course, I'm sure you can understand us preferring to have as many of our personal possessions secured with us as possible, but we don't want to inconvenience anyone.
Excellent. On to the fees then, unless you have any other questions.
No, thank you.
Very good.
Well,
He flips the
actually,
page.
there is
Oh, yes?
one small detail which we should probably clear up before we get any further, just because I can see this possibly affecting the amount of our fees. Would it be possible? We unfortunately lost one of the members of our crew while we were en route, and would like to arrange for transportation and respectful disposal at the earliest possible moment.
Ah, yes, of course. That, for a moment I thought you were asking something strange.
Not me.
Of course, you wish to, you have a person you wish to be, you wish to apply to have interred within the Ushzak necropolis?
Yes, thank you.
Very well. Yes, if you do not have proper transportation for the remains, I believe there is a coffin maker here along the docks outside the city that can possibly assist you with
Excellent.
a pine box. Of course, the Old Port family, he gestures at his own insignia, where he has a bull symbol as well as a kind of a port badge. That looks like a little dock pin on his kind of brightly colored clothing.
All right.
He says, of course, so the Old Port family does not handle that. You will have to speak with the representatives of the Rothdal family.
Naturally.
Naturally. Well, if that is all, then we can move swiftly along to the fees and licenses.
Yes.
Very good. We will need for each weapon that needs peace bonding, we will require a list, an itemized list to be provided, along with description, to the guardians of the Sacred Bull, which are, of course, the enforcers of the Old Port family here at West Head Harbor, sorry.
Certainly.
Very good. And if you can provide that list, we will certainly expedite getting those licenses and peace binding for you.
Yes, my amanuensis will begin drawing one up immediately, and I just sort of gesture at Equitas.
I
Very good. Very good. Very good. Well, this is moving along at an excellent clip then. All right.
Well, it's very late. I assume you must be exhausted. I would hate for you to be delayed on my account.
Yes, of course. If you would simply sign here that your ship will remain docked, how long do you expect to remain?
No longer than a week.
No longer than a week. Very well. Well, then at 7 days, dock space with an additional, of course, fee, and we will require an additional signature from you to give your word that there will be no flying above the city or its environs. Do you have standard coin to pay with?
Yes.
Excellent. That will be 70 gold pieces, please.
Did he say 17?
70.
70.
With all of your peace-bound weapon licenses as well.
Yes. All right. You heard the man. Everybody, pitch in with your weapon licenses.
Right.
I'm fine leaving my weapon on board,
No, you're not, bruh.
Rev says, turning his pockets out and revealing he only has 3 gold.
Yeah, no, Kiri's gonna leave hers on board too. Even though it's just a crossbow.
So, how much gold do we have between all of us?
I
have 25.
I've got 9 gold. I've got some silver and copper too, but 9 gold.
Kiri has 1.
Isn't Mavra loaded? With a magic bag that constantly produces new money?
Oh no. Didn't I give that up?
Did you?
Why would you do that?
Because we were giving the dragon back all her
Oh
stuff.
yeah, dragon.
Yeah.
But
I mean, I don't
Crap,
need
we're
my
bored
I don't
already,
need my
guys.
weapons. I'm not so hot with any of my weapons anyway.
That depends. Are they over?
Yeah, I'm
60
okay
now?
leaving my
Now,
weapons on board too.
I would.
alright, so we'll
agree
leave our
for
weapons
Rev
on board
to
and I'll ask
bring it.
Mom for money when we get there. That's the because I'm an adult. Alright, fine. Alright, how much would the fees be without weapon license?
Did you guys give a bunch of coin to the dragon as well? I don't remember at the moment.
I imagine I must have, because I don't know where else all my money went.
I don't think we've gotten like any kind of income in a while too.
You got a huge pile of money from the adventure near your home, Akiri.
Yeah, then we spent it all.
All right.
On what?
I think there was a clothes shopping expedition, and then 2 of our party members left.
That was before that.
That was before.
I have that written down somewhere. Give me a
So
minute.
where's all that money? Yeah, we put it all in one.
You must have bribed the
Kitty.
dragon. You must have
Yeah,
bribed the dragon.
we spent a lot of it convincing the dragon not to kill us.
Which was a good cause.
We do that.
We were staring in the face of a dragon.
Well, if Equitas isn't registering any weaponry, that takes it down to
I've got that coin list that we got, by the way. I
Okay.
don't know if we did. I don't remember giving the dragon any coin. I remember giving him a whole buttload
Yeah,
of magic stuff.
exactly.
I've got the coin list.
well, that takes it down to 55.
We've got 82 gold, 1,890 silver, 1,566 copper from that adventure from that dungeon.
Okie doke. Well, I'm going to keep my ceremonial longbow, as is my right.
Okay, wait. I
And-
gotta share the Twitch chat with you guys. If you're
Please do.
if you're not watching on Twitch, which you totally
Please
should.
do.
Grimslag says, paying a dragon not to roast you alive can be considered sensible healthcare expenditures. And Taladar says, does that count towards your deductible?
Sure hope so.
Anyway.
I think that's just the premium.
We also got a bunch of gems.
All right. Well, I'm keeping my longbow, which is ceremonial, and everybody else can decide what, if anything, they want to bring. The rest will be left on.
So you're down to
Definitely.
55 if Equitas isn't
Yeah.
registering it.
Now let me tell you something about my weapons. I'm keeping one of them. I'm keeping one dagger. One dagger is not leaving me.
Okay. They measure it and find that it is less than 6 inches long.
Okie doke. Then I'll keep both daggers.
Well, actually... Wait, which dagger?
Well, there's one that I've had since before the adventure even started, and one that I picked up along the way.
Okay.
And I want to
But
keep
one of them is just like a kind of a ceremonial dagger, right?
correct. I mean, there's nothing special about either one of them, except one of them is special to me.
Okay. All right. Well, a dagger meant to be used in combat would actually be longer. Would actually be too long.
Well, they are, so
Okay.
I'll keep one of them.
Okay. So then you are going to register a weapon.
Just that one.
Okay. Well, that takes it back up to 70 gold, if I'm doing my math right.
Akira is not registering a weapon, if that helps.
Okay. It's 15 per person, plus 10 gold for the docking fee for a week.
I mean, like I said, go ahead. I'm sorry.
If we have the boatload of coin that we forgot about, I would probably bring my weapon with me just in
Yes.
case, because I can do damage without it, but I do more damage with it.
Well, it sounds like you
I mean,
don't have
I
a
don't-
lot of coin.
Well, we have like 80 gold, so
82.
Okay.
we can pay it. And if we need money for rooms, I like I said, I still have 25, so I can spot people.
We also apparently have a lot of silver and copper, too.
And gems.
Yup.
And it's way less expensive to put everybody up now because we're, there's only 5 of us instead of 9 or whatever it used to be. I'm counting Samson as 2.
Accurate.
Okay, so each one of you provides a signature and a list of the weapons you're carrying to the Guardians of the Sacred Bull. And
Yep.
the guy, the burgomaster, kind of signs a few more things, has Bella sign an extra form about not disturbing the peace by flying over the city. And they kind of they take some leather string and they tie your weapons.
Can I ask a really weird and specific question?
Mm-hmm.
The piece of paper I signed that says stuff about not flying over the city, does it specify not flying over the city in my ship?
Yes.
I see where you're going with that.
Okay, good. That's all I wanted to know.
But you're definitely getting the impression that these Griffin Knights are...
Or twitchy.
Yeah.
Yeah, but there's a difference between getting attacked by the cops and having signed a contract that agrees that I'm not going to do something.
Sure.
And can I ask a question of the group? Are we taking all 70 out of that group gold that we got from the dungeon?
Yes, definitely.
Okay. It is subtracted.
Okay. Then all of you can bring your weapons in. They quickly tie a leather string over each item to kind of hold it in its sheath, etc.
And so it's not per weapon, it's per person. So that means that we each get all of our weapons, right?
Yes, it's per person, not per weapon.
Okay.
They kind of take the money, and he puts it in a box, and he says, "Please keep the peace and enjoy your stay in Westhead."
Thank you very much. I wonder if you would only just direct us to the nearest inn where we could engage some room.
He says, "Ask one of the guardians about that. I'm a busy man."
Certainly. All right, I'm gonna go find a guardian.
So yes, there are these tall, armored guys who kind of hang around the burgomaster's office and along the quays here. And seeing that you are carrying your various licenses, they helpfully explain to you that the Pine Box Stocks is at one end of the quays, the southern end of the quays, here at Westhead Harbor, and if you go in through the gatehouse, which you should be able to with your various licenses and papers that you've now received. You said the nearest inn?
Yes.
One of them recommends... Oh, well, you can't go wrong with the Scarlet Fork. I'm a fan of it myself. It's, if you just follow Pitchfork Road, which is right through the gatehouse here, the harbor gatehouse, you can't miss it. It's just before the town square. Large open square.
Thank you very much. And I wonder if I could just ask you one more question quickly, since you look like the sort of person who knows everything that's going on around town. We heard, we're actually here to take in a performance of a play that's being put on tomorrow night. Would you happen to know where that would be located?
I've seen a few plays, but it'd probably be. Let me look that up.
It'll be one that is being patronized by Lady Thornsea.
It'll probably be in Liberty Square then,
Thank you very much.
southwest of the city.
Oh, I see, on the outskirts, not actually within the city itself.
Sorry, within the city, southwest district, up on the hill where a lot of the nobles are.
I see. Thank you very much.
Aye, aye, Captain.
All right, I guess we'll head to the...
We probably want to do something with Liam first, don't we? Or do we?
Oh, yes, I suppose we should. All right, the pine box stocks.
I will be right back. We have screaming children.
We'll tell them to stop screaming. That always works.
From experience, huh?
I hear they're easy to reason with.
If there's one thing that everybody knows about children, it's that they're quiet and they always do everything that you tell them to do.
Yep, always.
Okay. Well, we're missing 2, but what do the 3 of you do?
Go find
We're heading to
Ian.
the pine box stocks.
Ah,
We're gonna
yes.
go buy a coffin.
That's right. Never mind, ignore me.
You walk up, there are people going back and forth. There's some drunken singing. There are a couple of watering holes, bars, outside the walls that you were not directed toward. But you can hear kind of drunken singing from the open door at one of them. And you head down to the end of the quays and find the windows dark and the shop closed up at the Pine Box Stocks. There is a sort of miniature coffin, like child-sized, hanging outside to show what this person does.
Well, on that cheerful note,
it's one of several different wooden... There's like a miniature chair and a couple of other wooden objects that show that this is a carpenter.
right. So I guess we're going to go get beds then, because we're not going to be able to buy our child or adult-sized coffins tonight.
Right. I mean, I guess right now Liam is just chilling on the boat, right?
I guess so.
I'm sure he doesn't really care where he is right now.
I mean, I know, but I mean, we're not.
We're going to take care of it as quickly as possible. We're doing everything we can.
I know. Okay.
I didn't like my idea of throwing him off the side and hitting him with a fireball.
I didn't say I didn't like it.
I mean, you didn't do it. All right, so we're going to head to the town square and find an inn to get room.
Okay. You are... They examine your papers at the gatehouse. You definitely notice there are more of the guys here with the bull insignia. But there are a few other folk about. And everyone here is, well, they look suspiciously at your papers, back up at you, nod and wave you through with everybody else. They give you each kind of a suspicious glance.
Can I do like a sense motive check to see why they would be suspicious considering we just went through customs?
You may.
Maybe we're too innocent.
That's only an 8.
They just seem tense. On edge. The population here is mainly human. Most of the guards are. There are quite a number of elves. In fact, looking around, it's almost half elves, and there do seem to be quite a few halflings at evidence as well. With a smattering of other races. So, definitely the two most unusual members of your party, in terms of race, get the most looks.
And Kiri's gonna stick real close to everyone.
Okay.
Equitus is used to it. Takes it in stride.
For sure. Okay. You walk into the city and you pass through the underneath the incredibly thick walls. I said it was like 50 feet tall, and it's the walls. You walk through like 20 feet of a stone tunnel. Or through the archway before you emerge in West Head proper. And your first impressions. A lot of people out and about. Even though it's dark, I mean it's about 6:30 or 7. Actually, it confirms that it is 7 when you hear the bong, bong, bong coming from some churches and temples nearby. There are a lot of people out and about, despite it being dark and kind of cold. After all, it was snowing not too far away. Only a week or two ago. And the other thing you notice about them is lots of weapons. And many of them seem to barely have a string tied on them to show that they are peace bonded. It almost seems
Well, I
like
take that.
extremely nominal.
I take that very, very personally.
Yeah, that sounds like money well spent.
Most everyone is carrying some form of personal protection. And as you pass into the city, you see a couple of angry, drunk sailors. A human and a halfling. Loudly arguing with some of the armored guys with the bull symbol. Who seem to be in the process of arresting them. Or at least telling them to stop being, drunk in the street. The mood in the city is... There's a certain tension. There's a certain tension in the air. Everyone, it's not just the guys looking at your papers. Everyone seems a little on edge here this evening. Many of the shops are closed, but about half of them are open as you walk along the street. And eventually arrive at a stone and brick building with the windows lit and a sign out front with a bright red painting of a fork. Kind of a fancy fork shape, lit by a cheerful lantern swinging in the wind. Just on the edge of the large central square there. Which I suppose he would have... well, I guess you swiftly find out that it is called Heaven's Plaza.
Alrighty. Does this look like a nice inn? Doesn't look like anything weird.
What does it look like? Looking along the street, this is kind of this street when you enter the city from here. It's kind of an artisan's street. There are mostly people making stuff, making goods. There's a potter just down the way. Various like ship construction items. People that sell, people that make and sell things. And this place seems... well, there's a kind of a small garden out front of the Scarlet Fork. And you can kind of looking it up and down is what you're doing, I guess.
Yeah, I mean, I just want to make sure it looks like the kind of place where we might actually want to spend the night. Because, I mean, that guy recommended it, but I don't know him.
Well, as people walk by occasionally, you're standing there looking up at the inn. You can smell the damp earth of the garden. And it has a red tile roof. There's the sound of some laughter from within. It seems nice enough, but there are signs of damage to the outside. Like there are cracks in the stone, and the door has kind of these long scars, like it was struck by axes
Weird, but okay. Though, as far as I can tell, this is as good a place to stay as any.
Looks fine.
Let's head on in.
All right. You're entering your first tavern in Westhead. You enter, you are immediately struck by the sounds and smells of an inn, which are, by this point, pretty familiar to you. There are people gathered around a drink. There are four patrons and one female elf behind the bar. Seems to be the owner. Serving things up. And I am just trying to grab the... play the right ambient sound. Stand by. Where is it? I guess that works. All right. There we go. All right. The owner greets you and introduces herself. She says, "Welcome to the Scarlet Fork, travelers. I'm Clara Swithrana."
Pleasure to make your acquaintance. We're hoping to book some rooms for the night.
She says, certainly. I can help you with that. We also have drinks and food if you are cold or hungry.
All of the above, please.
Excellent. Within you are finding, by the way, a large central kind of room with pillars, not too many tables and chairs, and it kind of has this open feel to it. And there are two humans, a halfling and an elf, drinking and eating at the bar. Okay. She will certainly give you guys rooms. How many rooms do you want?
At least 3, I assume.
How many beds are in each room?
She says, just the one bed.
Is it like a hammock-sized bed, or is it like, more than one person bed? Sorry, we've been on a boat for the past while, and so
I can
our
tell.
accommodations have been rather strange.
Certainly. Well, there's the one bed. It's larger than a hammock. Twin bed. If you want to spread something on the floor and take multiple people to the room, that's all right.
How much is a room?
She says it will be 1 gold piece per room per night.
Well, we can handle that.
Yeah, 3 rooms?
I'm fine sleeping on the floor.
Me too.
Okay. So how many rooms?
Well, there's only 5 of us. So yeah, probably 3 rooms will be fine.
All right, you guys
Bref,
take your
Bref,
turns.
I've got your room.
Well, thank you.
No problem.
Excellent. And can I interest you in any of our specials?
Sure. What are they?
For 5 silver pieces, you can have mutton ramen with peas and a tankard of beer. Or a ham casserole with egg and a glass of whiskey. Or we have a bit of boar casserole with garden greens grown right here at the Scarlet Fork and a glass of brandy.
Well, I would love the boar casserole, I guess.
Excellent. It'll be 5 silver pieces for the whole special. And tell me how those greens are.
Will do. I'm sure they're excellent.
She starts putting a plate together for you and a glass of brandy.
I'll
Nice.
have the ramen.
Ladles that into a bowl for you. Also, she gives you guys keys to for 3 rooms.
And by the way, I've paid for 2. I paid for Bref and another room.
She says only rooms on the 2nd floor are available. Is that all right?
Fine with me.
Great.
Sounds good to me.
She is quite pleased.
I would like some of that ramen as well.
You also get a bowl of mutton ramen with peas and a tankard of beer.
And how much was that?
5 silver.
Great.
Seems that things here aren't as cheap as they were back in, say, Arkney.
Well, they're fine. So while we're eating, I'm going to see if I can get some information from the bartender about whether there's a large troupe of actors that came into town and where they might be found.
She says, oh yes, there are always entertainers coming through. This is Westhead, you know. Everybody comes through Westhead once in a while.
Well, I'm looking for a specific group, the ones that are being sponsored by Lady Thornsea. I believe that they're performing up on the hill.
She seems thoughtful. Oh, Lady Thornsea's players?
Yes.
Absolutely. I've heard they're making quite a stir, actually. Really sticking it to those snobby lords.
That sounds right.
Amazing.
How are they? Where might they be staying?
Is it true? Well, I just suppose you don't know, but I've heard that they're going to be doing a play that features... She leans over the bar and whispers, "The old family." But you might have town. The De La Fontaines?
Well, I haven't seen it yet, but that's my understanding.
It's going to be spicy.
Yeah. Would you
I
happen to
like
know
her.
where they're staying?
Do I know where the Lady Thornsea's players are staying?
Yes. Or where I might look for them.
I'm afraid not. I expect over at Heaven's Hill.
All right.
The lords and ladies live up on the hill.
Sure. So they would maybe be staying just... I
Perhaps
guess
on Lady Thornsea's estate I'm sorry, I wouldn't know.
No problem. Just trying to find out.
That's usually how these things are done. You know, these traveling bands come through
Right.
from foreign places. And the traveling bands come through from foreign places, and they have a patron, a noble patron, and who takes them in and takes care of them with their wagons or their boats or something of the like.
Sure.
I'm sorry, you don't. And you'll pardon me for saying so. None of you really smack of the sea or smell of it.
Oh, our ship wasn't on the sea.
You don't say.
No, I do.
Oh, are you at the zoo?
The zoo.
No, but
Ubiquitous
same
really-
idea.
Oh, sorry, what was that, Paul?
Ubiquitous gives a pretty not very pleased look at that remark.
She says,
Akiri bristles a smidge as well.
so you have heard of, so you were on a flying ship.
Exactly.
Excellent. Yes, we've always done really good business when Stray's traveling menagerie comes through.
We actually have met Stray. That's kind of who turned us on to the whole idea of flying ships. I gotta say, it's quite the way to travel.
And she's quite the woman.
I'd like to walk up to her and ask her something, like while everybody else is eating.
Oh, it's under T for the slaughtered ox. Lord save me. All right, go ahead.
Excuse me, Clara. It was Clara, right?
Clara Swithrana, that's right.
Good. I'm looking for, while I'm in town, there's something I'm looking for. Where would I be able to find a bookstore? Specifically one that might sell, like, maybe even rare books. Maybe books that might be out of print. Maybe not
A
popular.
bookstore.
Yeah.
You see her, you know. I feel make an insight check for me, please.
Alrighty. 15.
Okay. You're pretty tuned into this kind of thing. You see her doing the kind of elf thing where she is like almost trying too hard not to stare at you.
Oh, okay.
Like she's almost like you're getting that vibe of like she doesn't want to come off like she's racist against tieflings. But you can definitely sense it. You know what I mean?
Right. You can look at the horns. Take a good look. It's fine.
Oh, I'd hardly noticed. Will that be, that was your mutton ramen, right? Oh, and a bookstore. She hands you your bowl. Let me think. Bookstore. I admit I don't get asked too often about a bookstore.
Or even a library.
I'm
but
sure there
bookstore-
is one.
would be perfect.
If there were a library, it would probably be at a temple.
Really, I'm looking for something to buy. I mean, in a pinch, a library would do. But I'm looking to buy.
Our knowledge of the city is pretty good. She says, I think there is one. Just on the other side of Heaven's Plaza.
Okay. Do you know the name of it?
Wolf something.
Okay, that's good enough.
I think it's... Oh, you could always try the pawn shop.
Hey, that's a good idea.
Yes, there's a kind of a quirky pawn shop just around the corner.
That's a very good idea.
Excellent.
All right, I really
It's the Intelligent Window Pawn Store.
Intelligent window?
Mm-hmm.
Great. Thank you so much, Clara. You've been a delight, and the mutton ramen is excellent. And I'm gonna give her a silver.
Oh. Well. Chit-chat is free, but if you don't mind me asking, where are you from?
Where am I from? I'm from all over. I've been traveling for quite a while.
Well, I suppose that makes sense. I just mean, we don't get too many,
Tieflings?
tieflings. Yes, we don't get too many of your kind of folk here in West Head.
I'm from south.
South. That would make sense. Well, I come from the forests around the city, so haven't traveled too far, but like I said, don't need to. Everyone comes through West Head once in a while.
Right. Well, the forest, when we flew over it, it looked beautiful.
They call it Armadan in common.
Is that not what you call it in Elvish?
Oh no, not at all.
What do you call it in Elvish?
The Elda Nalor.
Oh, that's beautiful. That's a beautiful name.
It is.
Well, I'm going to get back to my group. And again, thank you so much for the information and for the mutton ramen. It's excellent.
Of
Now
course.
you have a great evening.
And now you can impress your friends by telling them the Elvish word for the forest means
That's right.
beloved forest in
Beloved
Elvish.
forest. That's great.
The Melda Nalor.
All right. Well, you have a great evening.
Of course, I'm sure I'll see you again shortly.
More than likely.
Okay.
Looking around at this dining chambers, do I notice any casual gambling happening?
I keep trying to get us to the point where we can take a break, but I think I'm just going to call it here. And I'll get back to you about the gambling. Let's take a short 5-minute break, just a couple minutes really. We'll be right back with more of the Wildlands while I
So,
think
Max-
about gambling.
Yeah, I was about to make that joke. Sorry, my parents grabbed me to talk about wedding things.
Your parents are getting married?
Finally.
Listen here, Grandpa.
Yes.
And we're back. I'm trying to find a color that is legible on this background and failing.
Fun.
What?
I said fun. Did you try red?
I did.
That's better.
Only because the word scarlet is in the title there.
No, it's genuinely better.
I mean, I would do white, but white kind of disappears.
Yeah, no, I think red's the best so far.
Alright. Okay. So, yes, breath. It looks like in one corner of the large main room here, the halfling and one of the humans are rolling dice.
I'm going to walk up to them, say, "Evening, friend." Zip.
They look up at you. The female halfling nods and says, "Good evening."
Looking for another player?
Not exactly. My husband and I were just rolling dice here.
Oh, I'm sorry. I thought... No, I misunderstood. That's quite all right. Enjoy your evening.
The human man looks at you and looks thoughtful, and he says, "You looking for a bit of gambling?"
Just a little.
Charles Surceval Burke. He puts out his hand.
Breath! And I shake his hand.
Short name for a tall man. I like it.
He actually isn't.
He says, I don't mind throwing a few dice and winning a few coins off of you.
Oh, well, I've gambled in more than my fair share of seaports around this area, but now I'm gonna be upfront with you. I don't have a whole lot of coin, but maybe silver stakes if you're up for it.
Silver stakes?
As in we bet with silver.
Oh, I was thinking.
Stake. Yes.
Oh, silver is a bit rich for my blood. I was thinking copper.
Oh, well, even better. I'm not in it for the money. I just enjoy the thrill of the chance.
Excellent. He takes out a handful of copper pieces. Looks like I have 9 pieces of copper.
Done. And I pull out the same number.
All right. Shall we risk it all on a throw of the dice, then?
Let's do it!
Beat that.
Oh no.
That's a shame, friend.
You know, that's all part of the game. I appreciate you taking the time to spin the dice with me.
He starts brushing your, what was it, 9 copper pieces?
9 copper, yeah.
Towards him, and then pauses and says, "Do you want to go double or nothing? My luck seems to be strong tonight."
You know what? Let's do it.
At this point, Akira's going to lean over to Bella and say, "There's no way this is going to end well."
Yeah, but this is the least trouble he got himself into in like a month.
I see
That's
10
fair.
dots on my little bones here.
Look at that!
Ah. Interesting. We'll have to try again. Oh dear. I don't think my luck... Well then. Nothing.
While I was up at the bar, would I have been able to tell how much just like a glass of ale was?
Yeah, just for a glass of ale.
Yeah.
Yeah, that'd be about 2 silver.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm going to say, well, friend, I'm going to take my wings and head out, and once again, I thank you. And I'm going to go up to the bar and request that 2 glasses of ale be sent to their table.
The halfling woman and the human man are surprised and pleased and take note of you and your group. By the way, she introduced herself as Annie Thistletop while you were playing.
That's such a great name.
Annie with an I, she says.
Breath with, I'm told, 4 letters.
All right. Anything else before you guys head to bed?
What time is it now? I know it was 7 a little while ago.
You're hearing the ringing of the bell. Bong, bong. It's now 9 o'clock. And you have just had a long day of very speedy travel. A friend died. A lot has happened.
Well, I for one say we hit the sack.
I think I'm gonna take a walk, but you all can go to bed. Y'all don't have to
Yeah,
come
why
with
don't
me.
I was sort of wanting to take a walk myself, but I mean, only if you want company.
Yeah, if you want to. I'm just gonna try and look around the hill and see if I can find out anything.
Sure.
Okay. Well, by this hour, somewhat of the character of the city has changed. It definitely feels more dangerous to be out and about this eve at night. There are fewer people now. It's darker. More of the shops are closed. And the people you do see kind of don't walk out in the middle of the road, but keep to the darker corners, and it's dark. Despite the brightness of the Lost One tonight, there was most certainly a number of dark shadows beneath the eaves of the tall buildings of Westhead. But, navigating as best you can, the two of you leave the warmth and cheer of the Scarlet Fork behind, and walk up toward the hill, where apparently the aristocracy resides.
Pretty much. I mean, I'm just making my way up there as quickly as possible.
Making my way uptown.
Okay.
Yeah, exactly.
What are the rest of you doing?
Yeah, I'm just going to bed.
Akiri would actually like to do a couple things, if possible.
Okay.
Let's see. First of all, she is going to send a message to her brother, because she hasn't done that in a while. And she wants to check up on them.
Okay.
She's gonna say, "Hey Shadir, it's Akiri again. Just wanted to know how everyone at home was feeling and doing. Still alive. Still doing great. We're all good. Bye."
Okay. A few moments pass. I remember you. Everyone is all right. Though Sir Leadforge has passed. New folk arrive in Wildstone. Everyone misses you.
Cool. And then she's gonna send one to Sezig. Because I don't know, she's a Kiri.
Okay.
And she's gonna say, "Hey Sezig, it's me, Akiri again. Just wondering how your information gathering on Dawn Raider Breaker? Something like that was going. I don't remember the name of it right now.
Is that the whole message?
Yeah, just seeing how you're doing.
Are you out of words now?
Who knows? I don't know. I wasn't keeping track.
So it was just
going
wanted
into,
to see
like,
how
a
you were
song.
doing and your quest is going.
Basically, yeah.
Hang on a second.
Going way back in the notes.
This is the craziest spell in the game.
I love it so much.
In a story-based game, I guess.
Honestly, sending is so underrated for the one of the most havoc-causing spells. Alright, DM, that the character we haven't talked to in the past 20 episodes. Guess what we're doing right now?
It's a long moment. But you do get an answer. Hello, Akiri. It's good to hear from you. The quest continues. Dark times. Even Dacio cannot light them all. Snorri Trebor found a lead. And he says one more thing. In Lagrana.
Dang it, Krim isn't here. Okay. Alright. Cool. And then one more. She has one more third level spell now.
Oh my gosh.
So.
So you D-level. And don't have 3. Okay, go ahead.
Just for that, you lose 1 level.
Yeah.
And then she's going to send one more attempt to get through attempt to get to Belzdad again. Because yeah.
Last time you tried was
about a week ago. Ish.
Still in the obelisk.
What
Exactly.
message? What is the sending?
Hey, so my name's Akiri. I'm a friend of Bella's. We tried to contact you last week, didn't work. So I thought I'd try again just to make sure you were okay.
It stopped after the word "were."
Dang it.
Roll a D percentile.
Okay.
What'd you get?
62.
You get an answer. But it is a long time coming. So long, in fact, that you almost... you had assumed that you weren't getting an answer.
Oh man, it doesn't look like he's gonna respond to me. Dang it.
Not even there. Maybe if it takes a really long time, I'll be back.
That's true.
Finally, you're halfway through your next bite of... Or did you order food? Maybe you didn't. Alright, well, mark off a ration. You're halfway through another bite of hardtack. While your friends enjoy all this beautiful food, when a voice comes into your mind in response to the sending of a few minutes ago. It is just as Bella described it. An old man's voice, but powerful, arresting. Unsafe, unsafe. Friend of daughter knows naught of slaughter. Pirates and pillories aplenty. Spirited away, captains play. Tragedical.
Cool. Akiri really wishes she'd waited until Bella was back. Alright, cool.
Bella, okay, so Akiri, you do that and then you go to bed?
I think she's gonna wait until Bella gets back.
Okay, but you're waiting in your room?
Yeah.
And there are
Actually, no.
3 rooms. How are you guys splitting up? Sorry, coming in?
Oh, I was gonna say Akiri would probably wait in the corner. Like, find a nice corner to sit in.
Oh, she's going to sit in the main room while other people are going to bed. Okay.
Yeah, Bella should probably hear this as soon as possible.
Alright, well, you start getting, your eyes start drooping, but you stay up. How are you guys splitting up the rooms?
Anyone's welcome to stay in mine. I'm not picky. Mavra, do you want to sleep in the room with me?
Sure.
Okay. We're sharing a room.
Well, I guess if you guys are sharing a room and Bella and Equitas are sharing a room...
Yes, Akiri has her own room.
Akiri has her own room. Okay. Alright. So, Bref and Maverick go to bed. Alright. Aquitas and Bella, you're walking along the windswept, dark streets. Heading up toward the hill. Is there anything you would like to do as you walk?
Not especially.
I mean, definitely keeping an eye out for anybody that might be following, anybody that is shifty looking.
Well, as I described, there are plenty of shifty-looking folk.
But if anybody particularly looks like they're paying attention to us.
Make a perception roll.
Okay.
You have dark vision?
I do.
Okay.
Perception, there it is. 17.
Okay. As you pass one of the larger buildings and come close to the southern wall again, you begin to become aware of two groups. Two interesting things. One is the Night's Watch. There are definitely guards that are patrolling up on the walls, and there's one holding a lantern walking up and down the zigzag path up and down the hill. Okay?
Right.
The other is that you are definitely being followed. You look over your shoulder and you just catch a glimpse of some short personage darting behind a stack of barrels outside this large warehouse that you're passing.
Okay, I'm gonna tap Bella on the shoulder and whisper to her, "We're being followed."
Why would anyone follow us already? We've only been here for an hour. Does it look like anyone we saw?
I didn't recognize them. All I can tell is they're sort of short. They're hiding behind those barrels that we passed a little while ago.
Maybe that halfling woman who was back at the bar with us.
Maybe.
Alright, well, I guess we'll keep an eye now that we know they're there.
Yeah.
I'm gonna keep going.
Okay.
Yeah. And I'm still keeping a real close eye out, especially for that person. But, flying casual.
Okay. You spot with your 17 a second figure, a little taller than the first. Also slipping off of the road and circling around, possibly to the right.
Okay, Bill, somebody else is boxing us in.
Okay. I guess it's time for evasive action.
Something like that.
What should we do? Do you want to go invisible?
I mean, that's not gonna help you, and I can only make myself invisible. I can cast some darkness around us.
I think that we should probably do something a little less noticeable. I don't want to piss off the guard.
Right, I agree. Let's get a little closer to the wall that the guards are patrolling, so that if something does go down, they might be able to help.
Alright.
And we're gonna sort of hug the wall, but still headed in the direction of the hill, but closer to the wall.
Okay. Make a new perception roll.
All right. And in case it counts, I also have Devil's Sight, which means I can see normally in darkness, both magical and non-magical, up to 120 feet.
I know.
Okay. That one's a 12.
Okay. You don't see the light of the guards' lanterns anymore. It's been a few minutes now. And you don't see they seem to have continued on with their patrol, perhaps. So just being near the wall, you don't see the light of their lanterns any longer.
Right.
There is still one kind of making its way up the hill, a single solitary lantern, but it's now far enough away that you can't visually confirm.
Well, at least if we're next to the wall, we have something at our back.
I agree. I have a few things up my sleeve.
Cool.
Okay. Well, as she says that, someone steps out from a dark alley corner up ahead of you and into the lantern light hung on the edge of a building. And says, "Good evening. Welcome to our beautiful city. I hope you will enjoy your time here. And now, your money or your life." It is a drow, a dark-skinned elven man, wearing a black cloak, and you definitely see the other people you have noticed following you stepping out from the hiding where you had spotted them, and the glint of blades in their hands.
And so who we see now is that drow and the other two. So there's 3 that we can see.
Yep, I'll set this up.
Cool.
Can you guys see this?
Yeah.
So down on the south here is the wall looming overhead, 50 feet up. And you can, as I mentioned, see the glint of metal in the light. So this guy, he's not huge. Just stepped around the corner here. And behind you, basically all directions, figures have appeared, holding weapons at the ready. Whoops. Sorry about that. Ah, that's what I'm doing wrong. You got a 12 on that perception?
I did.
Last one? You now realize that the sound you took to be a bird should have garnered more attention from you.
Mm-hmm.
With a 12, you made nothing of it.
All right. Well, if we have a chance to say something, I would like.
Yeah, he just stepped out into the light here from around the corner. This guy?
Yeah.
From beneath his cloak, you can barely see two curved daggers glinting.
All right. I would like to make a persuasion check here.
Well, what do you say? I call for the persuasion check. You say what you say.
Oh, okay. Good. Then disregard that roll.
Well, I don't know if I will.
I say, all right. I know you probably hear this all the time, but trust me, I'm only trying to help you. You don't want to pick this fight.
He looks at you guys and he says, "Oh, if there's to be a fight, well, it's easily avoided."
All of this for... how much money do we have between us? 25 pieces of gold?
Not much, yeah.
I
You really
fancy
don't
that
get that.
bow you're carrying as well, little lady.
Oh, well, then it really will be a fight.
Yeah, that's gonna be it.
I'm not giving up the bow that easily. And if you can see how valuable it is to you, I assume you can also see how unwise it would be to take an arrow from it.
You see, boys, like all nobility, she is stuck up and overly attached to material things.
What are you talking about? All right. Well, come and get it if you want, but you're going to have to get through my friends first.
Friends?
Oh, you'll see if you come any closer.
Well, there's no need for that. Let them know we mean business, boys. And with that, we're going to roll initiative for just 2 members of the party. Remember to select your token first.
I don't seem to be able to select my token.
Me
This
neither.
may be our smallest initiative order
Oh,
for the campaign.
hang on.
Ever.
I'll fix that.
I mean, this entire combat is as big as our whole party plus one person.
Right.
Now.
Yeah.
Lost.
Oh man, the rounds of combat are going to be so short. What is this mad?
Man, I really wish they were grouped closer together. Oh man.
Fireball.
I know, we both just leveled up and we're like, I have something I'm bringing to you.
Wow, they really picked to mess with the wrong people. Ah!
This is amazing.
He pulls out the daggers. Says, boys, show them what you're made of. You will know you have been visited by Godrose the Phantom tonight.
Please tell me they all have just as ridiculous names as this guy. This is amazing.
All right. Equitas. You hear the slow of weapons drawn from scabbards and crossbows lifted to the shoulder.
Right. So we've got Godrose over here. We've got these. Now, is that a person there, or is that a feature of the landscape here?
That's a person?
Okay, okay. And then there's one here, and one here. And of course, Godrose. Okay. I'm going to. Man, what do I want to do? I want to do something fun. Yeah, I am. I'm gonna Misty Step. I'm gonna cast Misty Step as a bonus action.
Okay.
And I'm gonna come right up into Godrose's face. And then I'm going to vampiric touch him.
Okay. You cannot cast another spell after casting a spell as a bonus action.
Oh,
unless
because
it
you're
is-
right. Because it's a spell. That's
Yeah.
right. Right. Okay. That's okay. That's okay. We're fine. We're fine. I'm not worried about this. Then I'm gonna use this Morning Star that I picked up along the way that I haven't used yet. That I picked off somebody I killed at some point.
Okay.
And that's an 18 to hit.
You pull the Morning Star, and it sticks. It's been peace bonded.
Correct. Okay, we're still cool. We're still cool. I've still got my movement, right?
You still have a move. I'm going to say that it used your action because you thought you were going to pull out the Morning Star and attack.
Right. All right. Then right. Yeah, that's fair. Then I'm gonna move back to about. Where do I want to move? Wait. Let me do some measuring here. Okay. I'm gonna move back just to about right there.
Okay, so you Misty step forward,
Yeah,
grab the
that
Morning
was-
Star, suddenly realize it's still peace bonded, and take a few steps back. When you move back, he will get an attack of opportunity.
Sure, you can have that.
Yes. He kind of hisses as he attacks. swings with the dagger. Okay. Is your AC still 14?
It is.
He hits you.
Okay.
I'm going to need you to make a Constitution saving throw.
Okay.
And take 7 points of damage.
Okay.
Slashing. Or, yeah, slashing.
Okay.
From
And
his
I got a
curved
12.
dagger.
I got a 12 on my Constitution save.
Okay. You become poisoned.
Of course I do.
You have disadvantage on attack rolls and ability checks while poisoned.
All right.
And remember, you will get a new save at the end of every turn.
Alrighty.
So after your turn, essentially. And oh, actually, what was your Constitution save again?
My Constitution save was a 12.
I'm sorry, you will not get another save at the end of your turns.
Oh.
You feel woozy. This nasty poison, like it instantly goes through your system, and it feels. Equitas had food poisoning before, right? It kind of feels like that.
Sure.
So actually, if you had gotten a worse roll, it would have been worse.
I'm glad I didn't.
Uh-huh. Okay. He sees you you're kind of going pale from the poison. And don't forget, you also took 7 slashing damage.
Yeah, I got the damage.
Okay.
I had 1 temp hit point, so that leaves me at 38.
If that is the end of your turn, then it is Bella's turn.
All right. I'm going to shake my head at him, and I'm going to cast a new spell that I just got.
What?
Yup.
Did you multi-class?
Nope.
That's a bard spell?
Nope. At 6th level, I get to choose 2 spells not from my spell list and add them to my known spells.
Cool.
Dude,
Yup.
nice.
What
What do they look like? What do they look like? What do they look like?
Well, they look angelic.
Flying books. They look like flying books.
You know what? Yeah, they look like little cherub books.
What color? Books with wings start fluttering around you, flapping furiously and damaging and slowing any enemies that come near.
Paper cuts.
What?
Fancy red leather.
They're glowing with a reddish glow.
Yeah.
Paper cuts.
Yeah. So it's, to be specific, it's radiant damage. It would be necrotic damage if I was evil.
Okay.
But anyway,
Can you make the text appear?
I was trying to do that, but
I can probably.
I'll just re-click it. There you go.
Okay, great. They flit around you, distance of 15 feet. If you're good or neutral, the spectral form appears angelic or fey. Okay, I assume you're designating Equitas to be unaffected?
Yes.
When it enters for the first time on a turn or starts its turn there. Got it. Alright, anything else?
No. No.
Okay.
I'll stay here.
Okay.
I'm done.
Alright. They go. This guy starts his turn there. He must immediately make a wisdom saving throw.
Oh, that'll do it.
He gets a 16.
Yep.
Alright.
So he doesn't take the damage.
Half damage.
Right. So, but he still, I'm saying he still has the, what I meant to say was he still has the,
Slow.
the speed effect. Yeah.
Okay. Do you want to roll 3d8 or shall I?
All right, that's 14.
Oh, I guess
So
it rolls
7.
it at the start there. When you first time
But
you clicked it.
is it going to keep that same exact damage every time, or should I re-roll every time? Like,
I guess you re-roll every time. So,
that's what I was thinking. So
whatever.
ignore that.
Okay, 14. You can have it. Okay.
I mean,
He,
it's like 1 extra damage.
He cries out, "Ah!" As the books slam into him. The spectral, angelic books just go slamming into him. Ah! So he'll be backing away as soon as I get a chance. So he takes a step back. Outside of the area. It says, "Screw you." And this is an elf or a half elf, by the way. And he grabs. He has these daggers, and he throws them. These little knives, throwing knives. And he throws them at you.
Cool.
Your AC is 12? 13 now.
Yeah.
Okay. He hits you once. Make a Constitution saving throw, please.
Oh, no.
And take 4 piercing damage. Okay. You are also poisoned.
Cool.
No. You got an 8 total?
Yep.
Remember I said that if he got a lower roll, it could have been worse?
I do.
You fall unconscious.
Oh, no.
Oh, that's not good.
Oh dear.
Does the aura require concentration? Yes.
No, it
Yeah.
It blinks out. Bella falls to the ground behind you, Ektos going. You hear some snickers of laughter. And the others kind of rush in.
Shit.
Actually, this guy steps forward into this narrow alleyway and kind of moves here and fires a crossbow at you. Equitas.
Bring it on. Oh, fuck.
Nat 20.
Welp.
You are standing there in shock, mouth open, as Bella falls to the ground. And the crossbow bolt strikes you in the mouth.
Ouch.
Oof.
Because he is getting sneak attack on you.
Oof.
And just critted. So I'm going to need... Oh, I'm going to roll that again. So that's +2.
We should have date night more often,
6,
Bella.
9,
I know, this
10. Oh man, these are low rolls. That could have been way worse.
I guess you guys are rolling new characters next
6,
next session.
9,
Just
10,
leveled up too.
15. You're going to take 15 points of damage and make a Constitution saving throw, please.
Okay. Constitution save, you said?
Mm-hmm.
Come on. 21 with a frickin' nah, 20.
Nice. This time, you're like, oh, you spit it out. There is a hole in your tongue from that critical hit. Because critical hits in my game can inflict like a scar or a permanent kind of ish wound.
Sure.
But you spit it out and you spit out the poison. And you're still poisoned from the other effect. But it could have been worse.
Yeah.
Okay. Did I tell you the damage?
Yeah, it was 15. I took it.
And that could have been so much worse. All right. Okay. Next, this guy rushes up behind you. And he will stab you.
Bring it.
And he also gets sneak attack.
Of course, they're all rogues.
God damn it.
Your AC is 14.
14.
He's gonna try to stab you.
He will barely miss.
Oh, good.
You feel that blow deflected by your whatever kind of armor you're wearing. Leather?
Yes.
Just out of curiosity, really. I guess he'll end up there, actually. And this guy will move up. And he hisses at you. Remember the Phantom. And he sucks through his teeth again, and he attacks you twice.
Sure.
Nope. 3 times.
Why not? I mean, psh.
And he has advantage on all of these.
Great.
Mm-hmm. That's pretty great. Ooh, the first one is a 1 and a 20 with advantage.
Okay.
Oh, man. You are getting a pretty brutal introduction to Westhead. As your AC is 14, so all hit. Okay. I'm going to need you to make one more Constitution saving throw.
Alright.
Max, you're having too much fun with this.
I'm probably going to assume a 9 means I'm unconscious too.
You mean Gordros is having fun. Actually, a 9... actually, a 9 prevents you from falling unconscious. But the damage may knock you unconscious.
Well, yeah.
Okay, I have a crit.
Can I
here.
get more poisoned?
It just applies the same poison effect.
Okay.
Yeah.
Everybody needs to be thinking above 25. Think of a number above.
So you want him to do more than damage
Or
than
less
that?
than 25.
Fair enough. Fair point. Okay. That should be right. Okay. And...
Lucky for you, that's a lot of 2s and 1s.
well, I'm not
I don't
done
know,
yet.
man. I don't know if that's lucky. I don't think it is.
At least it's not mostly 4s.
Okay. So 8 plus 13 is 21.
Yeah.
Plus... nine.
Yep.
Ooh.
That's it.
Well, that happened.
Equitas.
I had such a good idea to get us out of here, too. Oh well.
I'm afraid I'm going to need you to make a death save.
Because I'm poisoned?
Because you're unconscious.
Because you were just knocked unconscious by damage.
Oh, yeah, you can do that immediately. Okay.
Well, no, on your next turn. Can you do something while unconscious?
Well, never mind. Okay. It was a 9, so I failed that.
Okay. Mark 1 failure.
I hope you have a good backup character ready.
Gordros the Phantom showed up. Could you make another death save for me, please?
Alrighty. I've marked it off.
I was joking about the good character. Like, don't fail this next one, please.
Okay. I need you to make a third one.
Okay.
A success. Okay. Keep going. You need 2 more. You can do this. I believe.
I don't know.
I believe.
Oh, God. I don't even want to click this.
Oh.
Well, guys.
What are Equitas's last thoughts?
Fuck. I'm glad Bella's unconscious so she couldn't see this.
Bella,
Yep.
sorry, I'm kind of emotional over here, guys. Bella, you wake up an hour later. You have been stripped down to your underclothes. Everything of value has been taken. Including your notes, your papers, the licenses you just paid for. You're freezing cold, lying all the cobblestones in this dark alley. And a few feet away, propped up against the building, is Equitas. His eyes are open, but there's no movement. He has been similarly treated, stripped of everything of value. Down to that dagger he carried around.
Could there be one thing left?
Well, I was going to say it was the dagger.
Well, could there be a letter that I had on me?
The letter... The letter is there, discarded, in a pool of his blood. It has been opened and tossed aside as worthless. And pinned to his chest by his own dagger is a piece of paper that just says dash the Phantom.
Well, I'm probably gonna scream for the guards.
You start screaming. A few minutes later, the guards do arrive. It's a mixture of different guards. You're not really paying attention to that. All you can really see is Aquitas's eyes staring lifelessly up at the heavens. And the uncaring stars far above. You are eventually taken to a nearby guardhouse. They ask where you live.
Tell them where I'm staying.
They will get you back there, and they promise to track down the one that did this. They say they have a suspect already in mind.
Yeah, I bet.
They give you the bloodstained letter and ask that you notify any next of kin.
And the dagger.
And the dagger. But they keep the note saying the Phantom.
Yeah.
Okay, guys. That is the end of tonight's session.
Well, fuck.
I am so sorry, Paul.
Hey, that's the way the dice roll sometimes.
Yeah. Sometimes they give you a rough one. Sobering. Bella, I am gonna need you. I hate to say this. I am going to need you to get rid of all the magic item cards in your hand, as well as the token.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
I had some old ones anyway.
Well, I'm glad as bad as this is to say, I'm glad we gave the evil magic dress to the dragon instead of these numbskulls.
Right.
Well, there are going to be some conversations. I'm sure. in the coming week.
There's gonna be some hell to pay.
Paul, I hope you're still with us. And I hope you do have a cool next character in mind.
Oh my.
Alright, guys. I guess we're gonna call it there.
Gonna miss him though, man.
I'm gonna miss that edgy, horny dude.
Man, how do you think I feel? I have like so many notes
Yeah.
relating to his stuff.
I was looking forward to a lot of stuff.
I mean, I guess it doesn't need to, it's not going to get thrown out or anything.
Right.
But, jeez. That is a turn of events.
I'm probably gonna put something in the lore here in just a minute. It's gonna be that letter.
Okay.
Okay. Also, question for role-playing in Discord later on purposes this week. Did Bella actually make it back to the inn that night?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
It would
So
be like 2 a.m. by the time she gets back.
Okay.
And she's basically in her underclothes and with like a blanket that they gave her. And
Cool.
I'll let Bella describe how else Bella looks.
Not great.
I can imagine.
All right, guys. Well, we're going to say goodnight and better dreams than this, I wish you tonight, and have a great week. We'll be back for more of the Wildlands and all of the rippling consequences coming out of these events next time. Thank you to Jeremy, player of Breath. Thank you to Akiri, player of thank you to M, player of Akiri. Thank you to Danielle, player of Mavra, who was here earlier. Thank you to Kirsten, player of Bella, and a big, big thank you to Paul, player and writer of Equitas and Equitas's Adventure Journal and Equitas's many lore entries and role-playing and all kinds of amazing stuff.
He wouldn't have wanted to do it with another group of people.
I look forward to finding out what happens next. And thank you all to the man with no screen name, Grimslag, Taladar, everybody who came by the chat, and anyone who watches this later. Good night to you. And watch your back in those dark alleyways. Good night.
Bye.